Thanks for tuning in to another IrishRacing.com stable tour. Today I'm heading to Joseph O'Brien's yard to get updates on all of his stars for the coming flat season. If you like the content, make sure and like and subscribe.
We're very lucky. We're support, a lot of support from a lot of people. We train horses for just about everyone, really, at all different levels, from syndicates who want to spend 15,000 on a horse to people who want to spend a lot more money and have a winner at Royal Ascot. So I think if you're competing in the big races and at the big meetings and competing well, there's no, like, you can shake as many hands as you like, but if you're not winning races or at the big races, that's the best way of showcasing you. That's Ray's you guys. He's going to the Curragh at the weekend for I think it's called the Orby Stakes. It's a lovely, solid group horse, isn't he? Listed group horse, and he loves the Curragh, so he'll head down that Irish Ledger pathway most likely this year. He's not getting any younger, but you might see him in the Maiden Hurl somewhere too at some stage. We took him to Sydney for the Sydney Cup, and he got a setback down there. It's a bit of a disaster, but he came back and then had the rest of the last year off. Was he off the track for a long time? Yeah. So it was a really good run, and he goes back for the Orby Stakes this weekend, and he won it a couple of years ago. So it should be a nice race for him. Richie and Poppy, you might just circle around us. The first one here is Galileo Dame. She might go for the Gorn Classic. We'll see what the ground is like, or I think that's what the race is called. So she'll have an entry in the Galnule as well. But she ran a great race in Chester. Just got back a little bit, and she was staying on well. She'll be a lovely, good performer for her owners, hopefully in the second half of the season. This filly here is Maxux or Mashus. I listened to last day, went a bit of a mess for her. Very slow pace, she pulled very hard. She's not the simplest filly in the world, but she's having a little easy time with now, and she'll head for the Pretty Polly. She goes Pretty Polly, kind of Romane. That'll be her. She handles soft anyway, but I think she's won on better as well. So I think she won her maiden. It was slow good. So I think she's pretty versatile, but probably wouldn't want it firm, if that makes sense. Filly in front there, Adelaise. She won a listed in Kempton. She's going to Ascot for the Kensington Palace, which she ran well in last year. In a way, she was a bit unlucky not to win it last year. Very nice, solid filly. She progressed well last year in handicaps and stakes company without winning, but it was nice to get her head in front at the end of the year. The horse down there, that's Nuzret. He goes for the Ascot Stakes. Barry, okay, just go to the outside, Barry, yeah. Goes to the Ascot Stakes. He's a stay-in handicapper, he likes cover and all that kind of stuff. The filly with the hood there is Gold Anna. She didn't get the rub of the green and Gorn the other day, but she'll have her day again. She might run the Ridgewood Pearl at the weekend if the ground isn't firm. She was fourth in it last year. She just doesn't want it firm,
Another strike or two, she was up again.
Listen, I got it a bit wrong on the day, but anyway, she didn't lose anything in the feet. Filly behind her is Lumiere Rock. She's going to run in the Tattersalls Gold Cup at the weekend, hopefully. Tom Doyle is riding her there. So she'll go to the Tattersalls Gold Cup.
She's been off a while, hasn't she?
Yeah, since the Breeders' Cup. Yeah. So she had a busy year last year, so it was our intention not to start her until this weekend. Placed in Group 1 in France. She ran great at the Breeders' Cup. Martin, you might do a circle around us there, please. This is a horse called Gallon. He was second in a maiden last year, and he'll have an entry in the Curragh at the weekend. So he had a bit of a hold up. He got a bit sick after his run, so he missed the end of the season. He's had a few entries. I just wanted to get him on nice ground.
He's second this is your trial.
He was in his maiden. He's hopefully stakes type horse going forward, and he's done well over the winter and got strong. Thanks, Martin. That's fine. This is Gregorina. She won obviously the Atazi. She's going to She's in America next week or the week after, but she's probably going to go to Ascot for the Duke of Cambridge. She won really well. Like, she came from the back and she had a big kick to get up late. Nice filly. So the plan is for her to go to the Duke of Cambridge in Ascot. Then American Sonia, she won group race in France.
That's not to America, isn't it?
Yeah, she goes to Saratoga for the New York Stakes, so Group 1 on the 7th of June. Thanks, Jane, that's fine. This is Rogue Millennium. So the plan is for her to run in the Ridgewood Pearl at the weekend. She looks to have settled in well. Yeah, I'd be hoping she can be progressive through the summer, and obviously the dream is to win a Group 1 with her. She's a Group 2 winner. She's beauty, isn't she? Yeah. And like you say, the dream is to win a Group 1. So this is Alrifa. So he's going to Saratoga for the Manhattan Stakes on the 8th of June. So it's a Group 1, and he ran really good in France. His first run back. He was coming there and got a bit tired, and the race didn't set up perfectly for him either. He actually gets a £7 allowance for not winning a group race last year in America. So the conditions of the race suit him well. Thanks, Dylan. That's fine. So the conditions of the race suit him pretty well, and it's a lot of money, obviously, What else is here? This is Atlantic Coast. He disappointed in Leopardstown on his first run back, but he's been training good since then. He's probably going to run in the Guineas at the weekend, just because it's a good spot for him. Could end up in the Jersey in Ascot or something, you know what I mean? But he's going to run the Guineas at the weekend. He's trained well since Leopardstown, and he's a smart colt. So I'd like to see him. The Guineas looks like it's going to be a hot race. I saw Dad said in his interview yesterday he's going to run the 2 colts. So
Couldn't mean it.
I didn't. The 2 wooden basses. Yeah, that was a bit disappointing. But anyway, this is Stromberg. He actually ran well in Cork on his first run back. Messy race. Don't think his horse won it. He'll probably go to the Gallinule, and then you'll see Gallinule, Hampton Court. That kind of a programme. The last one there is Uxmal, that won in Killarney the other day. He's going to the Queen Alexandra. I think it'll suit him. He's potentially a Redmond Cup horse. I thought he won well the other day. I know the race maybe fell apart, but I thought he won well, and he's done nothing wrong. His form from last year has worked out very strong. He's rated 106. He doesn't have a penalty in Ascot. So just going to go through them guys now, and then we'll go to the gap. Dylan, come in here. Dylan, go back there behind Imogen and Gemma, please. Bobby, you can lead Jar and Shane. Low 30s, okay? Follow along, lads, okay? Michael, you can lead Martin and Shay. Low 30s the second time, okay? That's fine. Today is routine training, so they're not going very quick, but they'll have a lead horse and one will be following. So I give them a speed to go. So when we're telling the riders what they're doing, we would we'd pick a speed within 4 or 5 kilometers, and they didn't go and train at that pace. Everyone has a different way of kind of describing what they want, and it takes people a month or 6 weeks of working there to get the hang of it. So it kind of takes the guessing out of it a little bit.
Yeah, when you can see a figure,
exactly. And it's on 4 quarters along the gallop, so if they need to go a bit quicker, they can move up a bit, or if they're going a bit quick, they can slow down a bit by the next one. So the actual gallop hasn't changed at all since Grandad was here, I guess. It was made a bit wider, but it's in the exact same mold. A lot of people would have maybe 2 gallops or 3 gallops, or they might have a grass gallop or whatever, but my horses literally just see the hedge and the rail every day, so it's hard for them to win first time out. Now this year our 2-year-olds have started off well, but generally speaking their first run will be a lot lower number than their 5th run or their 4th run, you know what I mean? But this year we made an effort to buy a more precocious horse that we could have some Ascot 2-year-olds. So I have some really nice older horses with some of the ones we mentioned. I think we look like we're pretty strong in the 2-year-old division this year as well, and we kind of knew at the start of the year that our 3-year-olds were light, yeah, but we have some nice 3-year-olds that I think you'll see progressing from, you'll see them progressing through the season and probably end up in handicaps and might end up in stakes races. But insofar as a Group 1 horse, one hasn't popped his head up yet. But last year we were a little bit light through June and July, and we started very strong last year with a bunch of stakes winners early. So we made a concerted effort this year to start a bit slower and to aim from kind of, summer onwards type of thing, because I think we had some horses that ran big races early, and then they were still running well, but we felt they could have been doing better in the high summer. So we slightly changed our training this spring, and then really with the 2-year-olds, like you say, if you don't have a precocious type of horse, there's no point going to the races for another while, because to win a maiden in Ireland is off the charts. Like it really is so hard to win a maiden. Ascot is so early even for a 2-year-old, So but it's so important, and you can say whatever you want to say, but Ascot is that's where the world watches flat racing. There's about 5 or 6 meetings in the world in the year that it does. So we have to compete at Ascot. Yeah.
Have you mentioned Carwood at the county?
So he's going to go straight to the Coventry. And that was the plan straight away after his debut. He's a big horse, and wanted to give him some time after. Like he put in it was a big performance that early in the season, I thought. So we had a little break after, and he'll come back and go straight to Ascot.
Were you expecting a big run?
He was. I think he was my first colt, or he was my second colt to run. So you really don't know when they're your first ones to run, but we knew that when the horse won the first race, then he was probably going to be pretty good. Do you know what I mean? Because we knew that the two of them were working nicely. So when the horse won the first, then we figured he was a smart colt as well, and expected him to run well. Didn't expect him to win like he did.
Don Rising go back to Ascot?
Yeah, he will. Yeah. He's took a bit of getting fit this year, and his first run was only okay. He's run the weekend, or in Leopardstown was actually better, and hopefully we'll have him ready to go in time for Ascot. He loves the long distance and he stays well. And
Seems to get a bit warm in Leopardstown before.
He does that.
That's him.
Yeah, he does that all the time. Yeah, you think a guy of his age he'd be after relaxing a bit by now, but he always gets a bit hot.
You have the 2-year-olds to watch out for
this weekend. I have two 2-year-olds debuting. I have a colt called Cadogan. He's by Far. He's a nice horse, he'll run over 6. And there's a filly called And So to Bed. She's a Kodiak. I think we like them both. They should both run well. Say they'll be super hot maidens, as you'd expect, but yeah.
Last jump season was a very good one.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, we didn't have a lot of runners, but we had some nice horses. But they're all kind of the horses that have been racing, apart from the few juveniles, And I guess it'll be the same next year, just they'll be a year older. So whether they can come back and hold their form, we'll see. But we love jump racing, and we'll keep our foot in the door there, absolutely, if we can.
What about Lee ran out in France?
He ran great, yeah, sure. He's a bit of an enigma, but he kind of lost his posse and then he galloped home strongly. You don't know where there's any 4-mile hurdles, do you? Because he wants a bit further. 4.25 mile hurdle. Replaced the Grand National with a handicap hurdle.
You got a big kick out of Banbridge and Punches?
Yeah, it was fantastic. Yeah, it's a fantastic ride from JJ, and great for Ronnie Bartlett. And he's not a simple horse to place, obviously, because it's pretty obvious that he needs better ground. But he won a Grade 2 and a Grade 1 last year, so out of 3 runs. So he's won a lot of races. I think he's won 11 or 12 races, which I see if Ronnie will allow me go to Ballinrobe or Galway for a flat maiden. I know he'll come back. He'll come back on a similar program. Yeah.
I
don't think so.
At the lead part.
He looks like some machine, that Ballyburn, doesn't he?